Caitlin Clark doing stuff that just no player has ever done before. I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves.
You've reached a new level when some of the sharpest basketball minds start paying attention, and that's exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark. After a record-breaking rookie season that exceeded even the boldest predictions, WNBA coaches are lining up to give her the credit she's earned. It's rare for a first-year player to make such a massive impact on an entire league, but Clark has done just that. And those who truly understand the game can't help but respect what she's accomplished. At just 22 years old, she's already making history. Youngest player to score 25 points in a playoff game? Check. The only player ever to lead the WNBA in both assists and three-pointers in the same season? Done. 62 records shattered in a single year? Just another day at the office for this rising superstar. Clark isn't just breaking rookie or team records, she's cementing her place in WNBA history in a way that few ever have.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
What is it about Caitlin Clark that has WNBA coaches calling her a once-in-a-generation talent? What exactly does she do on the court that has veteran strategists labeling her the future of women's basketball? We're about to break down the glowing praise from 10 of the league's top coaches, who explain why Clark is playing at a level few have ever reached. And if you stick around until the end, you might even hear from some legendary coaches with surprising thoughts on her game. At the start of this video, you heard from Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammon. Before stepping into coaching, Hammon was a 6-time WNBA All-Star and one of the league's all-time greats. Now, as the architect of the 2-time champion Aces and the 2022 WNBA Coach of the Year, she knows exactly what it takes to build an elite team. Even before Clark played her first pro game, Hammon saw something special in her, and now, the entire league is seeing it too.
Caitlin, give her flowers. She's done stuff that no man or woman, black or white, has ever done in college basketball. Give that woman her flowers.
As the season progressed, Hammon's praise for Clark only grew stronger. After seeing firsthand what the young star was doing on the court, especially alongside Indiana Fever standout Aaliyah Boston, she made it clear that the Fever were building something special.
I think there's probably an understanding between Aaliyah and Caitlin too, that they need each other. You both will be better when the other one is better. And, you become a legit two-headed monster with those two.
But Hammon wasn't the only one giving Clark her flowers. Remember when Minnesota Lynx and Team USA head coach Cheryl Reeve claimed she didn't care about Caitlin Clark's impact?
As a coach of the home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side.
I'll get you.
How about one?
Not even one.
Well, that statement aged about as well as a carton of milk left out in the sun. Fast forward a season, and Reeve is singing a completely different tune, now calling Clark a future Hall of Famer and recognizing her undeniable impact on the WNBA.
What are some things that you're seeing from Caitlin Clark that stands out to you?
What I think makes her special, I know everyone will talk about the logo threes, and Steph Curry did that for the NBA, right? Think about his popularity because his ability, this little guy, slight of build, running around splashing threes everywhere, right? It's exciting. So obviously future Hall of Famer, and has had a great impact on the game already.
So, what changed? Was it watching Clark shatter record after record, or seeing firsthand how she's fueled the league's growth? Either way, the shift in attitude is hard to miss. Funny how reality has a way of making people rethink their opinions, isn't it? What do you think was the real turning point for Reeve? Let us know in the comments. Former Connecticut Sun head coach, and now Indiana Fever head coach, Stephanie White also had high praise for Clark early in the season. She didn't just highlight Clark's incredible skill set but also recognized her role in expanding the game's reach. White knows Indiana basketball like few others. She played her college ball at Purdue, led them to a national championship in 1999, and later both played for and coached the Fever. That history makes her words about Clark even more meaningful.
Caitlin Clark and the many athletes that are coming into the WNBA are showing that these endorsement deals will follow great players and great ambassadors.
Remember when Coach Steph was backing Clark from the very start of the season? Looking at it now, it feels like this partnership was always meant to be.
When I'm, looking at all these things that people are talking about with Caitlin Clark, it's like, guys, chill out. Like, she's gonna be fine. Like, it's 2 games in. Are you kidding me? She's a student of the game. She got better every year. You're not going to just absorb all of the new information that's coming at you in 2 games, in 2 weeks. It takes time. And she will. I have no doubt about it. She's a student of the game. She continues to get better. And these are also points that coaches then address. Hey, let's continue to work on this.
Even after her Connecticut Sun eliminated the Fever in the first round of the playoffs, White didn't hold back in praising Clark. She made it clear that Indiana, led by its young core, is on the verge of becoming a powerhouse for years to come.
The thing that's made this Indiana team, I think fun to watch for everybody is just that they play with so much joy, right? Like they're young, they enjoy the game, they have fun together, and they don't take things too seriously. So there's some good things in that too.
Then there's Sandy Brondello, the 2014 WNBA Coach of the Year and current head coach of the reigning champion New York Liberty. With experience at the highest level as both a player and a coach, she's seen it all. And even she couldn't ignore what she calls the Caitlin Clark effect, a movement unlike anything the league has witnessed since its inception.
Look, I think it's just the whole momentum, the movement that we have at the moment. It's very exciting. And, Caitlin, just the impact that she's had on this city and this franchise, but also on the WNBA. And
Brondello summed up Clark's game and presence in one word: fabulous. But it wasn't just her skills that impressed, it was her poise, maturity, and the way she carried herself like a seasoned pro. When someone with Brondello's resume sees a rookie this polished, you know she's witnessing something special.
Caitlin's, she's a fabulous player, so she's going to get a lot of attention naturally. And I think she's handled herself brilliantly, to be quite honest. It's tough for a young kid, but she's got the skills and she's going to be an amazing pro player.
Next up is former Dallas Wings head coach Latricia Trammell, one of the most respected leaders in the WNBA.
Her presence coming off pick and roll puts you in a, different situation just because of how far she can shoot it from. And I thought we did a good job for the most part, a couple transition threes, but she really competed on the ball.
Known for her grace and sportsmanship, Trammell has always given credit where it's due. After watching Clark dish out a record-breaking 19 assists against the Wings last July, she couldn't help but tip her hat to the Fever star. That level of playmaking is rare, and Trammell knows it. Her praise only reinforced how highly coaches around the league view Clark's ability to elevate everyone around her.
She was getting open. Obviously, Caitlin is an unbelievable passer, and Kelsey shot the heck out of it. So I thought Caitlin made good plays looking for Kelsey. I'm not sure how she was getting open, but we'll have to look at that.
Then there's Phoenix Mercury head coach Nate Tibbetts, the man who led Diana Taurasi's squad before her retirement. He's had a front row seat to watch Clark in action, and his assessment is simple: Caitlin Clark is a walking offensive threat, especially in the pick and roll. Defenders don't just have to worry about her scoring. They have to account for her vision, passing, and elite ability to read the game.
I wish, Caitlin Clark had that experience this year because she's our future.
After the Fever swept the Mercury in the regular season, Tibbetts doubled down on his praise, not just for Clark, but also for her backcourt partner, Kelsey Mitchell. It wasn't just about the stats, it was about how Clark controls the pace, sets up her teammates, and makes every possession a challenge for opposing defenses.
I'm sitting there like, oh my God. But she's so crafty. This is what people don't know about Caitlin. She's not just a three-point shooter. She's a great passer, not a mediocre passer, not so-so. She is a great passer.
Now, let's talk about one of Clark's biggest doubters, Sheryl Swoopes. While Swoopes has remained one of her most vocal critics, her former teammate and WNBA legend Cynthia Cooper has taken the opposite stance. Cooper, the first ever WNBA MVP and a former head coach, didn't hold back when discussing Clark's impact. She shut down the noise and gave Clark the respect she's earned, calling her the future of basketball.
Any USA basketball experience for someone as young as Caitlin Clark is going to benefit America for years and years and years and years. So, yeah, I would put her absolutely on Team USA.
But Cooper didn't stop there. She broke down exactly what makes Clark special, from her court vision to her leadership. To Cooper, Clark isn't just another talented scorer, she's a game changer every time she steps on the floor. When a basketball mind as sharp as Cooper's recognizes Clark's greatness, you know it's the real deal.
She's just a rookie. That level of greatness, that level of play on a consistent basis as a rookie puts you up in the upper echelon of any league, definitely the W.
And then Cooper took it a step further. She openly stated that adding Caitlin Clark to Team USA wouldn't just benefit the team, it would be great for the entire country and the sport of basketball as a whole. That's not just a compliment, it's the ultimate validation. While debates continue over whether Clark belongs on the Olympic roster, one of the greatest players and coaches in WNBA history just made it crystal clear: Clark isn't just deserving, she's exactly what the game needs.
Love to see a packed house. Super excited to be here, be in State Farm, the opportunity to play in front of so many people, such an amazing crowd. Our team is really excited, and I think we're ready to go. So, a big part of this has to do with Caitlin Clark and the brand of basketball she's brought here and she's been playing.
And if you thought that was the highest praise, just wait until you hear what she said next.
She's playing really well. She's shooting the hell out of the ball. And she's making sure she's finding those open players. She had some amazing assists tonight. Triple-double, second one for a rookie. Just really, really proud of her and her continue to keep her teammates involved, and then also just her growth. It's been great.
Former Atlanta Dream head coach Tanisha Wright didn't hold back when asked about Caitlin Clark's impact. She acknowledged what so many have come to realize: the Caitlin Clark effect is real, and you don't have to be an Indiana Fever fan to appreciate it. Wright admitted that facing Clark wasn't just about preparing for an elite scorer. It was about experiencing firsthand the wave of excitement that follows her wherever she plays.
Yeah, she took the shots that were hers and knocked them down. She distributed the basketball. She takes so much attention, and she's able to find those open looks for her teammates. All around. She was really close to a triple-double, wasn't she? She just had a great game all around.
For an opposing coach to openly admit that a packed arena had a lot to do with a player on the other team, that's the ultimate sign of respect. Wright's candid acknowledgement was proof that Clark's influence goes beyond just her teammates and fans. It's felt league-wide, even by those trying to stop her on the court. At number 9, we originally had former Chicago Sky head coach Teresa Weatherspoon, but, well, she got fired and hasn't landed a new job yet. After a rocky season, she was let go, and to be honest, she never had much positive to say about the Indiana Fever anyway. Whether it was walking out of interviews or refusing to acknowledge the team's progress, Weatherspoon made her stance clear. We wish her the best in her future endeavors, but she won't be making this list. Rounding things out is former Indiana Fever head coach Christy Sides. While her coaching strategies faced plenty of criticism, one thing was undeniable: she was one of Caitlin Clark's biggest supporters from day one. Sides consistently praised Clark's growth, not just as a scorer but as a leader, highlighting how much she matured in just her first year.
Truly, Caitlin has a different set of rules because she's a special player and she has different talents than most people have as far as her shooting range.
After Clark's career night against the Chicago Sky, Sides was beaming with pride. She broke down just how special Clark is, not just because of her elite scoring ability, but because of the way she makes everyone around her better. She sees what so many of Clark's supporters have been saying all along: this is a player redefining what it means to be a point guard in the WNBA.
Caitlin is a great teammate, and if she wasn't a great teammate, it might be hard. If she walked around like she was the star, she doesn't walk around like that. When Caitlin's light shines, it shines on all of you. And I try to remind our team of that all the time. We're going to enjoy that light, and it helps all of us.
Come back, baby! Come back! I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Everybody down.
And now for the fun part, we have two special surprises. First, we hear from the coach who knows Caitlin Clark better than anyone, Lisa Bluder, Clark's college coach at Iowa. Bluder has always been her biggest champion, and when asked what makes Clark so unique, she summed it up perfectly: Clark isn't just a scoring machine, she's a player who makes everyone around her better. It's not just about how many points she puts up, it's about the way she reads the game, anticipates plays, and sets up her teammates for success.
I can describe it firsthand, having played her 2 years in a row in the playoffs. She's a generational talent. She's a young lady that you just can't take your eyes off of when you watch her play. And I know all of Iowa is proud of her, as they should be. And when we played her in the playoffs this year, I said, thank goodness I don't have to see you anymore. And that's about as high a compliment as I could pay a young lady.